I want to get about 70 wiener dogs in a chariot.
70 wiener dogs in a chariot?
And have them all set up reindeer style and just whip around town fucking hammered, throwing whiskey bottles at people in sidewalks, throwing money around.
Are you ready for your punishment, slave?
I sometimes scream out, no. When really I mean yes.
Yes, yes!
And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
She's not a Christian!
Safe word with Jason Rouse.
And welcome to the Jason Rouse Christian Hour. Today, Father Corbin here from Ottawa. Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word Podcast. Today, my fellow Canadian and friend is visiting Los Angeles here. Please welcome to the show, Casey Corbin, everyone. And then maybe applause from... That was kind of weird. Did you notice here the ice cream guys don't have the bicycles attached to them? Like, can you explain? I'm
out of breath. I just got back from the ice cream guy. I thought you were going to give me time to eat this Phantom.
They have a different system here. Like, in Canada, we have it's Dickie D.
Yeah, Dickie D.
And it's a bicycle.
Yes.
Darren Frost actually has a very funny story about being chasing Wayne Gretzky on one of those.
Yeah, that's all
Brantford.
true.
Yeah. He hit the curb and went flying. But you're a comedian.
Yeah, I'm a comedian, I guess. Yeah, I tell jokes and I tour around and make people laugh. And yeah, that's pretty much by trade. Comedian, yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. But you're from, we met in Toronto, I think, the first time, but then I think we met
It might have been in Toronto, but it might have not have been. It might have been in Ottawa, maybe one of your first times through, or, yeah, it was early, maybe 99, maybe 2000, sometime around that.
Yeah.
It was early, like...
And who's the like your crew? There was about 6 of you guys that I remember. I wish I could remember some names.
The crew that I hung out with in Ottawa, mostly, like the crew that I rode with. Well, Wafik was one of the guys that I came up with.
Very funny.
But mostly it was Jason Harper, myself, John Doerr, and a guy named Rob Cowley who doesn't do comedy anymore, but the other two still do. And then a guy who was an actor and a writer named Sean Tucker we hung around with. And then there were other guys too, like Ben Miner and Wafik, and Mike Beattie was another guy. And then Tracy McDonald was there, of course, and Christina Walkinshaw. It was a good crew of comics.
Yeah, I always wondered what you guys did for stage time. Like,
there was none. It was basically you got one show a week. If you were lucky, you got 2 shows a month. So
that's retarded. How did you guys must have had to leave the city, like? But I never saw you in Toronto, like.
That's the thing is, there was nobody was opening up stage time, and it wasn't until like my goal was just to get on tour and get one-nighters.
Did anyone try do an open mic or?
Every now and again, but it would fail miserably. It's
no man's land in Ottawa. You got like Montreal. But that has its own stage time issues.
It's a boring town. People don't go out. They go to movies.
It's fucking boring. Yeah, movies.
They go to movies.
Loverboy comes every 4 years.
Yeah, they go to Senators games, and that is pretty much it. They don't do a whole lot. They party a lot. Like, they go out to bars, but those people aren't going to go out to a comedy show because...
Everybody's looking at you thinking that you're John Candy's son or something.
No. They're like, feed candy to that son. That's what they're saying.
But, there's not a lot of options. And then they'd have the annual search for Canada's funniest new comic.
That's the first time I heard of you. Don Kelly won one year, went to Hamilton, lost to some guy that pulled a condom through his nose and his mouth.
Yes.
Then that was
98?
That was 98. That was the beginning of the time that I heard about you. And, I don't think I actually met you probably till... It's really hard to say.
The time I got, Toronto, there was so many rumors and, like, people... I had to reintroduce myself to people because there's so many people that talk so much shit
Yeah.
about all this shit that I've done in Toronto, which a portion of it was true, but they villainized me so much that a lot of the staff would have a chip on their shoulder towards me, and I hadn't even done anything wrong.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so too. Like, you know, but I always, from the get-go, I don't remember actually the first meeting with you. I can't remember, but I remember early on I was on Western Tours. You were out there at the same time.
Maybe
Me,
Edmonton.
you, Terry Clement, maybe Edmonton.
That's what it was at the Blackfoot Inn, that fucking The Shining Hotel.
Yeah, it was probably there.
Can you explain that? Like, it's a compound. Like,
It's
when
not-
I did it, there was comedy
They've
club.
totally redone it, but it's this
Is it-
hotel that's out in the middle of nowhere
Like,
in Calgary.
David Koresh. It looks like what he would have, like a setup he'd have.
Yeah. And back then it did for sure. And they just put up, there'd be 7 or 8 comics on tour out doing different
And
runs every
15
week.
staying in the hotel.
Yeah,
Because
so
they couldn't afford it. They would pay for their own hotel. And then
everybody would double up. And it was like the first 3 days of the week was like summer camp. Just a bunch of comics drinking in a bar with no
terrible.
shows, waiting to go out and work on the weekend.
Yeah, it was a strange place. And then in the summertime, it was at least tolerable because you could walk down that Chinook Center and just think about throwing people through windows.
I did that.
Chinook
I
Center.
did that 2 weeks ago. I was out there and I
Oh,
did
really?
that. Yeah, they redid all the hotel because now all their clients are Japanese. So it's a
upgrade.
very upgraded, modern, postmodern. I don't know. Is that even something?
Do you guys still get like room 101?
No, that's the whole fitness center. They got rid of those rooms finally, and they just made it the fitness center.
What is it, Hilton now or something?
No, it's still the Blackfoot. It's always going to be the Blackfoot. It's privately
They named
owned.
it, it's like a hunting lodge of hotels.
Yeah.
I've had some weird nights there. It's the only place I remember. The hockey riot. I was there for the hockey riot. They won and destroyed the city like fucking animals. They canceled the show because no one showed up. They put on and then the live news feed of just people tearing the city to the ground for a good time.
Yeah, well, that happens in a lot of Canadian cities when their hockey team loses.
I think it's one of the biggest disappointment to my country is when I travel. People always ask me about hockey and I have nothing.
Well, what you need to know is obviously from the history of Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto, when cities lose at hockey, they get really upset.
Yeah, but I've seen them create as just much damage when they win.
Oh yeah. When they win, they get really happy.
Yeah, I'd say Montreal is always up for a good riot. I don't know what the track record is as far as Canadian cities that have just flippantly decided, fuck this shit. We're taking this to the streets.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Why Montreal will riot for anything. They love it. Yeah, a good Guns N' Roses concert.
Metallica, there was a riot.
Metallica.
I think it was a Metallica Guns N' Roses show or something.
Yeah, James Hetfield lit himself on fire.
Oh, that was the one. He burned his arm.
Yeah, he burned his arm. He was standing on a landmine
Oh, no.
during one. Landmine has taken my pick, taken my arm, taken my arm hair, taking my shin.
That would suck.
Axel
Like,
won't go on and fill it. Yeah.
Those flash stage fires.
Yeah. I always...
Kiss must have some horror stories. Like, who does a bigger stage production than Kiss?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I was just at a Kiss concert, and it was the fact that they're like 60 years old and they're still flying around. It's like, come on, seriously, stop it.
Were they flying?
Yeah,
No.
only Paul and Gene, only 60-year-olds, 60 and above, to fly around the stage. It's like, we don't need to see Gene Simmons fly up to the rafters.
Yeah,
and then
it was like in the 80s, 70s, it was cool. Now it's like, oh no, that old man's going to get hurt.
Yeah, do something that's going to impress me more. Send a fax. Do something more modern, you know? Do an ice bucket challenge. Do something. Yeah, Paul Stanley flies right out to the center, and he's like, you have to invite me out here. Oh, Paul Stanley.
Oh man, but you go see you're one of a handful of friends in the Canadian comedy scene that you go see a lot of bands.
Yeah, I go to concerts all the time.
Did you go to shows with Zedlacker at all? Or?
No, but I did say to him last time I saw him that next time Metallica comes to Toronto that I want to go with him because I'm ready to go back to see Metallica. It's been years. I've seen them about 5 or 6 times, and I took years off because I felt like, I felt their music dipped, and I wasn't interested in them anymore.
Yeah.
But now it's like they're just playing old albums. Like they're getting to the point where they're like, now we're celebrating the past.
Yeah.
And they're hitting the albums that I like. And
it's kind of come full circle. I think that's what they're kind of leaning towards, is their roots, but with their experience.
Well, it's hard to be angry when you're so fucking rich. You know, like how can they relate to the
every year
the
wheelbarrows
fans,
of money just
you know?
dumped at your doorstep?
But it's like they don't have to relate to the fans, because you know what? All the fans grew up with them, and most of them have kids and everything. All they have to do is just put out a good rock and roll album, or just keep celebrating the old stuff and reissuing it. You know, like that's the trouble
There
when you're.
were some misses. There were some big misses.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't even name any songs off the last 5 albums.
Saint
maybe.
Anger. I heard Death Magnet was good.
Yeah,
That's what
that
people
the Rick
say.
Rubin one?
Yeah.
See, yeah, I think it had a Garage Days thing. I think I poked in and listened to a bit of it, but it was like, But that's my problem, not theirs.
Yeah, that's it's so true. It's so true.
I love hearing like a recent Metallica song and then play Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, it sounds like punk rock.
No, exactly, because there's no attitude in the music now. It's just like there's no balls to it, right? You know, I see pit, you know, and it's just that's the way it is.
What rock star do you think still have balls? Iggy Pop.
Still
got balls.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people still have balls.
Give me your top 5 frontmen of all time.
My top 5 frontmen of all time? Okay, well, this is my opinion, and it's going to go against a lot of people. But number 1 is David Lee Roth, because I'm such a hair metal fan. Like, David Lee Roth, when he fronted Van Halen, in that era, the early one, the first one, that band changed rock and roll. There was no hair metal. And then that band came out, and every guitarist wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, and every singer wanted to be David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be Vince Neil without David Lee Roth, and there wouldn't, like, and Van Halen was above hair metal. They spawned it. It was their spawned out of them.
Son.
Yeah, it was their bastard son. While they always were above hair metal, they never became hair metal. And then Roth decided he wanted to leave Van Halen and become hair metal. Much like Kiss. When Kiss decided to take off the makeup, they're like, let's be a hair metal band. How'd that work out? They had to go back to the makeup. You know, and
yeah. Well, what about Garth Brooks?
Well, when he went to be hair metal, or Christopher Gaines?
Yeah, when he did Chris Gaines.
Well,
that was insane.
That killed his career. That killed his career.
What's this go? Why?
Yeah, but eventually everything comes full circle, and people want there's always a demand, because your fan base does. If you have true fans, they don't leave, and eventually they get retro. And Garth Brooks makes so much money now, and the same with Kiss, and the same with Van Halen. Like,
so top 5. David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth's number 1 front man for me. Obviously, Mick Jagger is up there, because the Stones are awesome, and he's awesome. I've always liked Roger Daltrey, so I'll put him in there. And then you see, like, as much as I'd like to say Paul Stanley, Kiss is like the Beatles in a way where technically there isn't a front man because they split it. Like, who's the front man of the Beatles? Is it Paul or is it John? It's really neither. It's both of them, and that's the way it is with Kiss. So I can't put Paul Stanley in there because Gene's just as much the front man that Paul is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, oh jeepers, this is so hard. Like, I definitely know the first 3. Who do I really like? Well, I guess, you know, Robert Plant, you know, from Zeppelin, is an amazing front man. But so that would be 4, and then the 5th one, probably Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, somebody within the last 5 years.
Somebody within the last 5 years that fronts a band? Well, or that's because Bruce Springsteen is amazing too, right? But in the last Bono, I enjoy U2, and Bono's an amazing front man. I know you're so in disapproval right
No,
now.
I don't know the man.
No, of course you don't. He just dropped shit on your iTunes.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
like,
I fuck him then.
No, you can't blame him. You got to blame.
Of course, he's got to be in control of his career.
Yeah, I guess so.
When
In the
you-
last 5 years, I don't even know any music that's come out in the last 5 years. I just listen to what I listen to.
Yeah.
I absolutely love
That's the
Steel
thing.
Panther, and
Yeah.
so because Michael Starr,
He embodies a lot of
he's
all
Dave.
those elements.
All those hair metal guys I
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
he's all of them. But
Yeah,
David
yeah.
Lee Roth more than David Lee Roth is these days.
He's very X-Men-esque of 80s hair metal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Michael Starr. He's my favorite frontman right now.
And he came in.
To the restaurant that I worked at, yeah.
And how was
When I
that?
was there.
Did
I
you
turned
were
in-
going to the show the next night in
Yeah.
Toronto?
Yeah,
Where
it was.
did they play?
It was all. What's that? Where did they play? They
Yeah.
play at the Sound Academy.
Is that the old Docks?
Fuck, I'm an idiot. I can't. Axl Rose. How do I forget
Okay.
Axl Rose? I'm sorry. Axl
right.
Rose is up there really high. Yeah. He's still up there. I still love Guns N' Roses to this day because it's all about Axl for me. So, he's played with everybody else, but the band has been let back in some way or manner. But
Oh,
people still
sure.
think it's Slash's fault. Like, it's all Axl, this problem. I'm
They're
pro.
like guys who've just been around each other too long.
Why do fans expect their bands to stay together for their entire careers?
Everybody wants their band to be the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but the Rolling Stones didn't stay together forever. They had to kill a guy, fall in a pool.
Did he?
Yeah, one of the guys drowned, didn't he?
I think that was the keyboard player from Bronski Beat.
No, yeah. No, I drowned that guy. Run away. Small town boy.
Did you get to see any shows while you were here?
In L.A.?
Yeah.
The comedy, yes, and metal or music shows, no. No, nothing in the need. I saw that Tom Petty was playing, and I thought about maybe going to see him, but I just saw him in Toronto, so I don't need to see him again.
Did it smell like weed at a Tom Petty concert?
Yeah, because I was smoking.
Want advice from Jason? Do you have a story? A question? Leave Jason a message on Skype. www.jasonrouse.com/Skype.
What do you think about the access to marijuana here in California?
It's
so accessible. All the green crosses you've been seeing all over the place.
Yeah, but that's it's convenient, but at the same time, it's I'm comfortable with just calling a guy and having him come over to my house. It's great that it's so random and it's out there. It's always nice to know that I always have the option of getting off the couch and going and picking some up. But essentially, the phone a dealer call is a time honored tradition in my family.
And but you live in Toronto now.
Yeah,
It's a different kind of scene. You do a lot of the pop rooms in Toronto.
I do.
And the
couple of
Toronto
them.
sce's popping.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff going on comedy-wise in Toronto.
There's so much going on in Toronto, comedy-wise, and
I'm going to go back for some stage time.
yeah, there's a lot of stage time to be had, whether you want to perform in front of audiences or no audiences.
Here,
And
it's terrible. It's all comics.
yeah, well, it's all wannabe comics that sit in the audiences. I heard that at UBC, the audience is pretty much improv players that have to go to the shows. When they sign up, take courses, they have to fill in. They have to be in a man.
Appearances?
They have to be in a whole.
Yeah, we have a choice though. We can go there or not.
Stand-ups are so snobby, eh? Like, we're like, no. Stand-ups in Toronto
Because-
don't even like staying for an entire show anymore. I hate that. Why not stay for the entire show?
Because everyone just wants to get in, get out. No one wants to hang out with losers.
Yeah, but don't people want to watch a headliner and learn?
No,
a
but
little
most
thing?
of them are so self-indulgent and unaware that there's some other good acts, and you can learn from other people's failures.
I never needed to go to a comedy school or a comedy course because what I did was I just watched what the acts on the show. If I was the first guy on the show, I was lucky enough to get that spot. And then I watched the entire show. I used to take notes until some comics told me not to take notes.
At the show?
I used to go with a notebook
that's not
and
good.
take notes, and Rob Ross did this joke and it was my favorite joke of the night. Just like a little
Comment.
thing. Yeah, nothing that I wasn't writing people's jokes down. I was kind of reviewing the shows and what I thought made them strong and what I liked about them and what
Points of reference.
that was the way I learned. Then the comics said, yeah, don't do that. So then I just did it when I got home.
Regardless, You know, and if you have an idea, and it's gonna resonate.
Yeah. Then that's how, and there's, so I would just watch headliners. And I remember one year that I started doing spots at Yucks, when I started getting opening spots in Ottawa, was I went to every single show every Thursday night for that year. So that would have been like probably about 97 or 98. And that would have been right around the time that I probably would have saw you, 98 or 99.
How many pit bulls have you seen today? 30, 40 of them? It's like a dog fight's going to break out. All their ears are trimmed. Oh, that one's got a tail and a nutsack.
Yeah.
Put some pants on that fucking thing.
Yeah. A lot of pit bulls down here. Okay, are these extras that you hired? Because this guy's walked by 3 times already, and he's coming by again.
Which guy?
The guy in the red shirt. What's he doing? Is he doing laps?
He might be a cop.
Is he a cop?
Shoot him.
I guess so.
Tackle him off the end of this pier into the river, and then go, I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else.
Oh, I did. I thought it was Boomer with the Sioux Greyhounds shirt. It looks like a Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds shirt he's wearing.
Have you been out to Vegas lately?
I've never been to Vegas.
That would be right up your alley. You'd be like a kid in the comedy candy store there.
Yeah, buffets and strippers and friggin' gambling. That's all right up my alley.
and a ride to the hospital.
Yeah, I love buffets and blackjack.
Buffets are pretty good, man.
Of course they are. And they're cheap out there, too. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, you can eat a ton of fucking shit. They really don't give you any reason not to.
No, exactly. And then there's
what is, because you're an eater.
Yeah.
What's your desert island 3-course meal?
Oh, if I wanted it, or
and
a desert
Boomer's
island.
got a crossbow to your neck.
Well, I'm gonna have some ice cream for dessert. I know that.
What particular flavor?
Just something with chocolate, with more chocolate and chocolate in it. Like last night, I polished off a tub of chocolate chunk Haagen-Dazs. Oh. So it's chocolate with chocolate chunks in it. That's always good. I used to eat.
Drool on your shirt.
I used to eat at least 4 pints, like personal pints of Haagen-Dazs.
Did you have an easy bake oven beside your bed?
No.
A toaster oven?
No, I did have a fridge beside my bed.
I think Boomer told me you had a little setup.
I had a fridge at one point.
Ding! Some chicken wings would come flying out.
No, but it wouldn't be uncommon for me to wake up in the middle of the night, walk to the fridge and pound a Mountain Dew and then go back to sleep. Like, yeah, that's what you need in the middle of the night. About 800 calories and just teaspoons. How does this guy sleep? He just does it. He's a phenom.
He passes out.
I used to take
a liter of Mountain Dew and then go back to bed.
No, just a can. I used to
oh my God.
chug. No,
I would have nightmares. I had death rattles all night.
I used to eat pasta, but roll it up in tortillas, fresh flour tortillas.
Pasta.
Not even knowing anything about carbs. It was like, oh yeah.
What did pasta and tortilla shells with nothing else on it?
Just a bunch of pasta in a tortilla shell, and you eat it like a fajita. That's what they call it now. I was doing this 10 years ago. They call that fusion now. They combine them. I'm like, yeah, that's nothing. That was just me being stoned.
Yeah, that's starch and starch.
How can I eat this pasta faster?
No sauce, no.
Rolling it around in a fork and a spoon? No, just put it in a tort and get it in your mouth.
Stuff it down.
Everything I eat in torts.
What's
salads,
something that you
torts.
won't eat? Like a stripper from
cock sandwiches.
Cock sandwiches.
Cock sandwiches.
You always end up with a callus on the roof of your mouth. I'll give you $6 if you go grab those 2 dogs by the leash and whip them over into the fire. I'll give you $20 if you snap those 2 dogs up and swing them over here.
How about
swing them over here?
I do want to kick them. I do want to kick those dogs, but in a good way. In a good way. How about this? How about next week when I get home?
They look like little reindeer.
How about next week when I get home and my roommate's gone?
Oh, that guy had to walk up the hill. That dog was going to rip those 2 in half.
I'm going to bowl one of the chihuahuas of my roommates across a wet floor.
She has more than one chihuahua?
Well, she has 2 of them, my roommate.
Who, Michelle?
Yeah.
She's got 2 chihuahuas?
Yeah. Yeah, don't even.
Well, she had 2 miscarriages and want to replace them?
No, she rescued 2 chihuahuas. Yeah.
From what? A burning house?
I don't know where she rescued them from. I don't even know if she rescued them from Kevin Fox.
What are the dogs' names?
Macho Man and Shorty. And I want to change their names when she's gone. I want to change them to Corn Dog and Pogo.
And put one of those hot dog bun jackets on them.
Oh, these dogs are idiots. They're idiots.
Chihuahuas, they don't really have a chance.
No, not when I pull out the Super Soaker that shoots 30 feet.
Oh, they paint their assholes?
Oh, I've shot them and spun them across the floor. They run like little deer. They see the gun, they run. They fear the
Maybe because
Reaper.
you fill it up with bleach. Oh, now it's sad.
No, they smell great. They've been cleaned.
I love to get some dogs.
Yeah.
But until I'm more stable with something, I just worry if I could go on the road to leave them somewhere that they're in distress. I want to get about 70 wiener dogs in a chariot.
70 wiener dogs in a chariot?
And have them all set up reindeer style and just whip around town fucking hammered, throwing whiskey bottles at people on sidewalks, throwing money around.
That would be the best.
If you were going to have to ride an animal, what would you ride?
If I was going to have to ride an animal, what would I ride?
Yeah.
I think I would want to ride...
outside a horse, I'm thinking.
Outside of a horse?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be
Giraffe.
another animal?
I see those ostriches, but I know also if they kick you in the head, they'll crush your skull.
Yeah.
I don't want to get kicked in the face by a fucking bird.
No, I think if I'm taking seriously thoughts into this. I'm thinking about what I'm going to ride here, and I'm going to give a good answer in a second. But there's a lot of different animals.
You could double up if you need be.
No, my ass isn't that big.
No, but if you want to ride a poodle, you're going to need about 30 of them, and you're going to have to get a stripper split on top.
No, that's ridiculous. I don't need to do
let
that.
your dick hang between.
I think I'd probably like to. I don't know. I'm thinking a dolphin, but that's so generic because people ride dolphins. But I don't want to be that guy that rides dolphins. But if I could, I'd like to ride a dolphin.
You want to be original.
I guess it would probably be
a bat.
No, I think a lion. The lion's going to allow this to happen, right?
But you get totally upstaged by a lion.
What do you mean?
You're just an asshole now on an animal that could clearly take your head clean off.
I want like a battle cat. Like
oh, so it's full saddled. Not bare ass Jungle Book.
Oh no. A zebra would be cool. If I was a horse, maybe I'll put a dildo on its head and tell everybody it's a unicorn. But it's like a double pronged one, so it's a double unicorn.
Yeah, he's a Chernobyl unicorn.
Yeah,
they're selling them. The meat's delicious.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Just another pit bull.
What's that? Yeah, another pit bull, eh? So, a lot of nice scenery here at the. There's a lot of lulls in this podcast because there's
shitter.
It's very hard when there's here comes this girl on a bike. Look at her showing off.
What have you noticed since you've been here? We were down at the Improv last night.
Well, I used to host a show about bicycles. Remember that?
Did you?
Yeah, I was the host. It was on Saturday mornings on YTV. It was called The Pedophile.
Yeah. I remember. What have you done since you went down to the Improv last night?
Yeah, we went there. That was exciting, and tried to play Guess Who's Painted on the Wall. So
that's an odd stride this guy's got going on.
That is the most interesting stride that guy was running I've ever heard.
It's like not speed walking, but
but look at
stepping himself.
Yeah, but look at the intense on his calves.
Oh yeah, he's jacked.
That's something that I would never think of doing. Running like an idiot.
Yeah, no, there's some sort of a technique there.
Yeah,
but I wonder.
Now, what do you think this guy's technique is coming across without the sleeves? I
think he's.
It looks like Dan Connor's going out as the cable guy for Halloween.
Or a Wolverine.
Yeah, definitely Wolverine. I don't know why. I don't know why I had it. Yeah, of course I am. It's Thanksgiving.
So what
it's
else
Canadian
have you done?
Thanksgiving.
You're big on rock and roll nostalgia.
Love rock and roll nostalgia. Love rock and roll.
What kind of touristy stuff did you do? Because you did do the TMZ thing.
I did a TMZ tour, which was very, very interesting. It was a lot of fun. Nothing that I didn't know. It just took me to everywhere that I wanted to see that I didn't want to walk to. I did for rock and roll. I still want to go back down to see the guitar places and stuff like that, like where like those that like I want to see right down by the whiskey. They have that guitar alley where I saw Michael Anthony's bass was in the window.
Oh, they got the Guitar Center. On
the
Sunset.
Guitar Center. That's where everybody goes.
It's insane. There's like just they have Eddie Van Halen. They've got a bunch of Van Halen stuff. I'm sure, like stacks and a bunch of guitars.
Yeah, I was just in a place in Edmonton that had a Guitar Center, Axe Music store, Axe Music, and they have Van Halen stuff. So I went in and put it all together.
What's an Eddie Van Halen guitar go for?
Is Jay Brown ripping it off and making it home, or is Eddie Van Halen selling his own?
No, like a proper signed, documented.
Oh, a regular guitar, like his Frankenstein guitar that they sell now, they go for about $900, I would say. Then his premium guitar would be the EVH Wolfgang, PV, like used to be PV, but it's EVH brand now. And the Wolfgang would probably go, I would think, for about $18 to around $2,000 for the guitar.
Still, not crazy expensive.
No.
You're a bit of a guitar nerd too?
Well, I've never played guitar, but I know enough about guitars.
I saw Johnny Five. Do you follow Johnny Five at all?
Yeah, Johnny Five played on David Lee Roth's last unreleased album.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is Roth has always been creative, and he's got all this stuff ready to go. Steve Vai, he's always paired up with great guitarists, Jason Becker.
Yeah. I think that's kind of a dream for a lot of very slick guitar players to play with David Lee Roth.
Oh yeah, of course. It's like who wouldn't want to fill that void? Like all these guys grew up idling.
Good for that too. Wild, Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, you get to fill in where your idol was.
Yeah.
Like, imagine what it'd be like to share the stage with Bret Michaels.
Yeah, it'd be horrible. He's had a good run though.
Bret Michaels has had a good run. Yeah, definitely.
He's got a lot of headbands.
He's got a lot of headbands that hold a lot of wigs together.
That's quite a commitment, though.
It is. It is a commitment. I think I would like to just ride a bunch of ducks underneath and have a board on top of the ducks, and I just stand on something that would make me just sort of go around the water on top of the water like I was Jesus.
So a piece of plywood on a bunch of decks?
On a bunch of ducks or goose, whatever. And then I would just just float around.
And there's about
standing up
40 homeless guys throwing empties at you while you're whipping around the pond.
It's all right. I collect those empties and I return them and I make money. Homeless people will throw money away like that. Not me. Not me. I recycle.
Bags of dead kittens. Pillowcases hitting you in the face.
Again, it's all very positive. Bags of dead kittens. That's you take those dead kittens and you cook them on a barbecue and you sell them to the homeless.
You're an entrepreneur.
Well, I believe in turning positives into negatives. Unless it's AIDS, then you keep that negative.
Jokes from the early 90s.
Recently, when I became deathly ill, I was able to summon an ambulance, my family, and my doctor without picking up a telephone. I used this remote control to contact Life Call. Watch.
Tony, I'm scared.
You just press this button and speak into the air and...
I'm having chest pain.
Remember what Mr. Halloran said.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
It's just like pictures in a book, Candy. It isn't real.
See? Protect yourself with Life Call, and you're never alone. To get complete free information, call toll-free now.
CaseyRouse.com/Skype.
Listen, what do you got coming up?
Hammer time. A little hammer time going on.
Boomer was out here.
Boomer was out here. Yeah.
You're looking around like he's going to come up behind you and rub some shit on your face.
I thought Carlo Mencines was running after me a second ago.
What, you lived with the man for years.
We lived with Boomer Phillips for 8 years, yeah.
8 years?
8 years.
That's retarded.
Yeah, when he left, it was like, it felt like a breakup.
Separation anxiety?
Yeah, I did go through all that. Jeez. I went through a little,
8 years.
8 years, and there were a lot of good times. Like his ex-wife used to be on this softcore porn show, where she used to. Yeah, it was done by the guy that did 9.5 Weeks and Red Shoe Diaries. Zalman King was his name.
What's his name from X-Files was in Shoe Diaries.
Yeah, David Duchovny.
Yeah.
He played. It was a very sex show, and then he did the X-Files.
It was terrible though. Pornography had already made its.
Oh yeah,
public appearance, and that followed up with softcore porn. You're like, what? There's more frustration.
Well, here's what happened.
I'm dead inside. You need to fucking get me a little in and out.
This girl that Boomer had moved in, lived with us. She just moved in. There was never asking any me, but like, yeah. But if you're gonna move in a really hot chick, am I gonna say no? Yeah, I should have said no, but I didn't. And the thing is, what happened was, really distracted right now by all these hot bodies running around and the ice cream truck coming by.
It's double jeopardy.
I know.
You got frozen dairy.
So anyways, his fiance, his ex-wife, whatever, was on the the main character of the show. So fine, bud.
Really? Was that before he'd met her or after?
No, this was after, during when they lived with us.
I don't know how I deal with that.
He was cool with it because it was a good job for her, but in the last episode she did have to show her knockers. But here's the thing.
So people watch the whole series to hope to see her jugs at the end?
Yeah, because she was the payoff at the big end. Now this is the funny part.
They build the whole series off of breasts at the end of a show? How much money?
Oh, there was tons of nudity in it. It was like late night. It's on IFC.
But it didn't show anything go in?
No, it was all like just simulated, like Blue Nuit. And
I'm sick now.
Soft porn. And so what happened was there was a girl we did a pilot with that was really hot, and she was in the episode, and she showed her boobs. So I wanted to see that girl's boobs because she was in a bikini the whole time we shot with her on something. So I wanted to see her boobs. So I tried to find the episode. I couldn't find the episode. I had to download the whole first season. So I'm downloading it, and then Boomer came into my room one day. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." He's like, "What you got going on there?" I was like, "Not doing anything." He's like, "Let me see what's going on." I'm like, "Why do you need to see what's going on?" He's like, "Let me see what's going on." By this time, I shut my laptop. He's like, "Why would you shut your laptop?" I'm like, "You don't need to see what's going on. There's a privacy." He's like, "That's not privacy. What do you got hiding?" I'm like, "I'm not hiding anything." Then all of a sudden, he bullies his way in.
Yeah.
He opens it up and he sees that I'm downloading his wife's series.
Didn't they fuck in front of you?
Yeah, this is why I don't even understand why he's so upset, and then we made a big issue. He's like, "You're downloading my wife's series so you can jerk off to her." And please, if I was going to jerk off to her, I would have went in the room and sniffed her panties. But I never did. After one time, I almost got caught. And she didn't wear panties. But yeah, he did bring her into my room and banged her, like when he first brought her back.
Hilarious.
And then he called me gay for watching him bang her in my room. "You want some popcorn?" And then he'd throw in an F-bomb. One time I had a date over, so he thought he would make the date exciting.
He has no respect for boundaries.
No, he's
an animal.
What he did on the date was he just decided to show me up on the date, and he took his girlfriend into his room with the doors open and just banged her. And so all we could hear was them banging, and it actually forced us to go into my room, which was good because it made me actually get her into my room, which I could put moves on her. So we're now starting to fool around on the bed, and then all of a sudden, who busts in? Boomer, and all he's wearing is he's got a towel draped over his erect penis. And I'm like, I'm not ripped like Boomer. The viewers at home, or the listeners at home, should realize that I used to be 350 at the time. I'm 250 now, but Boomer's like a ripped 225 at this point. He looks like John Cena. You know, and he comes in with just a towel draped over his cock, and the towel is like full flagged. Yeah. Like there's not like it's not folded over. It's there's enough length on there that he can count, you know, a full towel on.
He's not coming to look for the toothpaste.
Yeah, and the worst is like, dude, I'm trying to get with this girl, and you know, it's like she's eating hot dogs, and somebody's like, you didn't want some of this steak? Of course she wants steak.
She's lazy.
She's taking hot dogs for now. So did you get a second date? No, didn't get a second date. That's how that went.
Sometimes when Boomer brings girls over the house, that they think, oh, you're going to meet my roommate, and it's you. Are they disappointed?
Oh, no. Well, Boomer used to do a thing where he'd always bring girls back, and one of the things he would do is he would make them sit through Game 7 of the hockey series. Even if there wasn't Game 7, he's like, my roommate and I have to play Game 7. I hope you don't mind waiting until this game unfolds. And then it's
How long does that last?
15 minutes of her just sitting and watching.
He'll do this
as a joke to see if they wait, and then as soon as they're done, he takes her into the room. He used to take her in the room and bang her. But so many girls have watched me play hockey
just so they could fuck Boomer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's that big of a fan.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even like hockey. He bought the video game just for this gag.
He's quite a character.
Yeah, it was definitely...
it's a bloodhound.
It is a bloodhound.
You don't see those too much.
Well, they're always working.
What kind of work does a bloodhound do?
Yeah, sleuthing.
Yeah? Detective work?
Detective work. Sleuthing. Some of them run gangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cards, racketeering.
Yeah, a lot of that.
A lot of that. Cigars.
Yeah, bloodhound gangs. And then there's the other gangs of New York. So, Fat Albert's gang. So, you know, there are a lot of gangs.
So you're in Los Angeles for a few more days.
Yeah,
and you dig it.
I do dig it. I'd like to come back down. I plan on coming back down. Yeah, I definitely dig the lifestyle. Right now, like I'm climbing a palm tree as we speak, and I'm about 20 feet up.
We're in Echo Park, and what do you think? It's pretty cool.
Well, considering that there's no reverb in the podcast, I doubt the significance of calling this place Echo Park. Not once have you heard an echo.
Apparently, they called it Echo Park because you could hear the screams of people being murdered.
All right, there he goes again. 5th time's the charm.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't run. They just do a lap as exercise.
If they really want to exercise, they should get out there and paddle a paddle boat.
Yeah.
Those are tough.
You do that for fucking 20 minutes?
Yeah.
That's a good workout.
A lot of workouts in the water are easier, but paddle boats, not easier.
That's actually a good idea. I might go sit in there with a book and just kind of putter around.
Yeah, but bring a weight to carry the other side, right? Because if you're in by yourself, you just look like an idiot.
A bunch of canned hams in a pillowcase?
Yeah. A Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving today.
It is Canadian Thanksgiving.
My mom, I talked to her today with my nieces, and it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Well, tomorrow in America is Columbus Day, so don't forget to say Ohio to your friends.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio.
We should try and find a turkey dinner.
I ain't got no fine time for turkey dinner. I'm probably going to go to a hockey game tonight. Canadian Thanksgiving. We're grateful for hockey. The Jets are in town.
You love it. It's the New York Jets and the...
no, it's not the New York Jets playing the hockey. New York Jets play football.
Oh, I thought it was a
Flash
baseball
Gordon
team.
played for the New York Jets in the story.
Flash Gordon?
Flash Gordon. No, the
LA Kings.
There's a bull on the ridge that keeps staring at us the whole time, and I'm getting worried by it.
There's a what?
Look at that bull up there on the ridge looking at us.
Oh, yeah.
What's that place all about?
I don't know. Is that
Merrill Lynch?
There's a lot of weird thing like that house. It looks like some sort of housing project. LA's like not flat, but it's flat. Like it's kind of a lot of different surfaces.
Do you think this guy right now is walking towards Dodger Stadium and he doesn't know that there's a game going on, or is that guy just randomly popcorn, peanuts, candy floss?
They do the laps. It's part of the neighborhood. It's cotton candy and balloons, fruit.
That looks like a walking pedophile right there, as if you ask me.
He's using the balloons to cover his erection?
That's what he's doing.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. This one dolphin's not for sale. Get it out of the blowhole. Get it out of the blowhole. On porpoise.
What? What is going on? Man, I am, I think I'm what day is it today? Sunday.
Oh, this is awesome. I've never done this. I feel like I'm in an episode of 90210 right now.
Who are you?
Oh, obviously I am, no, I'm just an extra.
You're the guy who kills that kid drinking and driving.
Who, Wheels?
Yeah, you're Wheels. From Degrassi. That's a massively popular show.
Yeah, people get Wheels and Drake mixed up because Drake was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's kind of ignorant
think
to say that he's Wheels because he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, Drake is not Wheels.
You know, I auditioned for Degrassi with Drake.
Did you really?
I did.
With Drake?
Danny DeLeo sent me on an audition at Creative Entertainment.
I always wanted to be the creepy janitor on an episode of Degrassi that gets to finger one of the girls.
Drug dealer.
You were a drug dealer?
I never got picked. He got the show, obviously.
Who, Drake got the show?
Yeah.
Did Drake got to be a drug dealer?
Drake got to be on Degrassi.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that launched a big career for him. Jimmy Brooks was his name on Degrassi, Jimmy Brooks. I watched a lot of Degrassi.
I never watched it. I think it was the first year they brought it back.
Yeah.
First season.
Yeah, that was
second season.
The Next Generation.
It blew up. It did very well.
It's still on to this day because it still does well.
Do you even watch any Canadian comedy? Or?
Do I watch Canadian comedy?
Yeah, like on television.
Like the TV shows?
Yeah. What is there now?
I watch Mr. D. I enjoy that show. I watch Trailer Park Boys still. That's always good.
Yeah, that's one of the few shows I'll actually... It's like Family Guy. I'll rewatch shows. And I love showing people who are not in the know.
Well, they're still making new Trailer Park Boys. They just did release the 8th season on Netflix. And there's talk next year that Snoop Dogg says he wants to go and be a part of the trailer park.
Oh,
so what if they create a rival between Snoop and J-Rock? That would be excellent.
That would be excellent.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So...
That's cool. That's actually cool. Snoop Dogg moves into the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, yeah. Like, don't have him be Snoop. Just have him be a guy that's, like, living in a trailer park.
American, he's hiding, gangster on the hide.
Yeah, that would be good. Other than that, the other shows, Canadian shows that are comedies right there, I watched, like, the CBC stuff, like the Just for Laughs and the Halifax Comedy Festivals. I still watch those.
You've done the Halifax Comedy Festival.
I've done it, and I'm doing it again next year. So,
what was your first experience like? Because I'm interested in potentially doing that.
My first experience ever was amazing. I did the opening night gala at the casino. It was a tape for television. It was 700 people, I think, something like that, 600 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the first spot after the intermission. It was a sweet spot, and I rocked the audience, and they used my clip to advertise the festival the next day on CBC One. So my clip, they took my clip to broadcast the festival, and they went national with it the next day.
So what is it, like a week-long festival? Like the Edinburgh Festival would be a month, and then...
No, this would be about like a weekend. It's a short festival. It's like a Tuesday to Sunday.
Huh.
It was Tuesday to Saturday night, but they do all TV tapings.
Halifax, quite nice.
And they treat you really well, and it's very nice. And it's a good party, too. So,
do you go to strip clubs?
I'm a strip club addict, and I stay out of them now.
Oh, really? We go dumping a bunch of money at strippers?
I've put a lot of women through, here comes Short Stepper again. Here comes the Short Stepper. Hurry up, he is the Short Stepper. Hurry up, he's got calves that are amazing. Hurry up.
He sweated right through.
Still stepping like that.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Well, strip clubs.
Yeah,
What's your top 5?
What's that? Top 5 times in lap room dances, champagne rooms, strippers? I don't even know. I've been to a lot of strip clubs, and I don't go to as much anymore because I used to spend a lot of money in the champagne rooms.
Who goes to the champagne room? Were you banging these whores?
No, I was one of those suckers that just give them like $300 to dry hump me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I just like to be held. I had issues. I used to literally burn probably about $700, $800, $900 on strippers a week.
Jesus.
Yeah, back in the early mid-90s. So
why did you spend it on? Was it just the chase, or?
Well, basically, I'd go out, get drunk, and then last call, we'd cross over to the Quebec side, which was an extra hour, and we'd go to the nudie bar. We didn't pick up. We went to the nudie bar, and we had our favorite strippers.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the girl, and, I went on a few dates with her. I got emotionally attached to a lot of my strippers.
That happens.
Yeah, because I'm one of those fat, lonely guys, right, at that time. So, yeah. It's and then it wasn't really in the time where you got a lot of extras.
See, if you had cocaine...
Well, yeah, that's when you get extras.
That's when you get your asshole polished like a fucking rusty hubcap.
Yeah. I didn't even do any drugs back then. I just drank a lot.
Were you a big drinker? I remember when I first met you, shaved head, clean shaven.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot, and my biggest problem drinking was drinking and driving. I used to love drinking and driving.
That was your thing?
Oh, I fucking love drinking and driving.
How many children do you think you've run down in the street?
I never had any kids. I went through 14 check stop programs, made it successfully. The worst I ever got was a 12-hour suspension.
Jeez.
I don't do that anymore, though, obviously, because I gave up drinking and driving, pretty much. So, yeah. They said you only have to give up one. You don't have to give up both.
What's a Canadian city that you think that they still are cool with drinking and driving?
Ottawa's the best city to drink and drive in, and I'll tell you why. It's because they have 3 different types of cops. Because it's the capital, they have the RCMP. The RCMP police the parkways and promenades, and only certain streets that involve the government. All those streets, like the drives, Colonel By Drive, stuff like that. So those streets run all through Ottawa, and at nighttime, RCMP aren't out to do ride programs because they don't do that. That's not their thing. The Queensway is run by the OPP, which is another place where they don't do ride programs. And then you have the rest of Ottawa, they can do ride programs. There's loopholes, yeah. So you can take a drive from one area of town to another, get on a highway, and make it most of home, and you only have to drive like maybe 10 minutes in some cases.
Yeah, do you just get a taxi?
No. You drive
it's like
down.
Mardi Gras. What's that center, the city center part, where it's all bars and shit? And then it's like a market during the day or something like that.
Yeah.
What's that area called?
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street in Ottawa.
Well, there's no Bourbon. Oh, Byward, the Byward Market. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. But, so basically, and plus I had friends that were cops. They were still drinking buddies, too, and they just told me, it's like, now this is 20 years ago. No, they told me that the shift change happens at 10 to 2 in the morning. So the cops all go in for a shift change at 10 to 2. They have debriefing, and then they have briefing of the cops. They come into a shift, and they're on the road by 10 after. So you got a 20-minute leeway at 2 o'clock.
That's fantastic.
To get home.
That's enough.
Yeah,
of course it's enough. If you don't piss around waiting for people to get their jackets,
no.
You say, you be at the car, or I'm gone.
You leave,
I'm blackout drunk.
You leave before last call. My buddies actually pulled me over a couple times and then just followed me home so no other cops would pull me over.
Yeah, that's perfect.
No.
Police escort.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Did you ever have a cuff, like a...
Never been cuffed or anything like that.
Handcuffed to a bumper of
a
police car?
One time they tried to put me in a cruiser. I wouldn't let them close the door. I kept my leg there.
Why?
Because I said I wasn't a criminal. But because I pulled myself over because I was too drunk to drive. But at the same time, they were pulling me over and I didn't notice. So they think they pulled me over, but I said, no, I pulled over. I said, I drove around the block and I realized I couldn't drive. They're like, you hit 3 curbs. I'm like, yeah, I realized I couldn't drive. That's why I pulled over. They're like, but we pulled you over. I'm
sure the tape recorder would sound a little different.
Oh yeah, I got 12. I remember the lighter didn't work in their cop car, so they made me breathe in the breathalyzer, but they couldn't do it in the cop car because they couldn't get to work, so they had to flag down a cab. So I had to go into a cab and do my breathalyzer, and the cab driver said, "Do not blow too hard. Do not blow too hard." But once I put my lips on it, it blew over. Yeah, and then I ended up getting a 12-hour suspension because my buddy...
A liter of whiskey down the
gap. Gave them extra... My buddy gave them all restaurant coupons. He bought them off with gift certificates.
That's perfect. Take the wife out for dinner?
Yeah, come into a restaurant, take the wife out for dinner, take all your buddies out, just,
Kids don't get a beating that weekend?
No. This is great.
Isn't this nice?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We're really relaxed. It's
yeah.
How nice is the weather? Can you explain what we got? There's like a water fountain shooting 50 feet in the air.
All right, there's a water fountain shooting 50 feet in the air. And then there's
Lily
palm
pads.
trees everywhere. And there's blue sky. And then there's a guy dressed up like Fonzie, and he's about to jump a shark in this Echo Lake pond. And it's pretty amazing. There's a shark
Paddle
swimming
boats.
around. There's paddle boats. Yeah. And
Some dogs.
There's a
Pit
lot
bulls.
of people dog walking.
If 3 pit bulls attack me right now, would you scream and run or like whip them with the mics?
I would call for Michael Vick. 3 pit bulls, yeah. No, that's 3 pit bulls. 2 pit bulls, I would do something. 3 pit bulls, I would let it be because there's a rule of
let it be 3.
well, there's a rule of 3 in comedy, and I know you appreciate the 3rd pit bull.
Oh, the tag?
Yeah,
The one that pulls my head clean off my neck?
yeah. And then if I broke it up afterwards, if I thought, I'd be happy if one came by for a call back. But it would be because it's a dog. It'd be called a crawl back.
What do you want to do tonight?
I think I'm going to go to the hockey game.
Oh, you're going to the game.
I don't know. What do you want to do? Is there anything to do? What's going on?
On a Sunday on LA, I don't know.
No, I think I'm going to go to the game.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, I've never been there. I go to hockey games
What
and
time
every
is
other.
the game usually done?
7 till 10, and then I'm going out, and then I'm hooking up with Michael Gelbart.
Oh, Gelsey.
Gelby, yeah.
I think I made him cry once in an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah, but that's not the In-N-Out. He was thinking. No, that's never mind.
No,
I haven't went there yet, but I'm going to go there tomorrow, obviously. I have to go to this. I have to go to Pink's. I have to eat at Pink's hot dog stand.
Yeah.
And I have to eat at El Pollo Loco. And I have to eat at In-N-Out Burger, and I have to eat at the Chicken Villa. Chicken Villa Chicken?
Chicken fillet.
What's that all about?
It's a badass chicken sandwich.
I see smoke pouring out of the building, and it's not even on fire. That seems awesome to me.
It's a tasty. The nuggets are the best, I think.
That's what I'll eat then, nuggets.
But if you like a proper chicken sandwich, it's
I'm not in it for the chicken sandwich. I'm in it for the nuggets.
the best chicken nuggets I have ever eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, I love chicken nuggets.
Do you love nuggets? Do you eat McDonald's nuggets?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I can crush nuggets easily at McDonald's.
Oh, my God. I'd be violently ill with nuggets. McDonald's nuggets. I had to take a shit on all 4s. You'd have to sit on my back to keep my legs from kicking up.
Yeah, that would be pretty scary. That would be pretty scary. Yeah, it is just so nice out here. I got to go up to Canada next week.
Well, yeah, where dates you got coming up?
Grand Prairie, which is way up in Canada. And
Part of the country, how north?
It's 6 hours north of Edmonton. When Edmonton is enough north to begin with. So,
what the hell are you? What's the population in Grand Prairie?
About 1,000,000.
That's it?
No,
You're going to do a show for a town of
I don't know.
5,000 people?
I don't know. The casino's packed. They're paying me good money to go up there. So I do Calgary, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and then Saskatoon. That's my week next week.
What is in Saskatoon anymore? Because there was at the
Parktown Hotel.
Yeah, that gig ran for like 30 years.
Still runs.
Oh, but it's not Yuck's gig anymore.
No, it's a laugh shop.
Ah.
Yeah.
So is anybody managing the room, or?
I heard there's a new manager, and I'm going to meet them this weekend.
All right.
Because I'd like to do a Christmas run there where they put you up for 5 weeks, and you just do
5 weeks in Saskatoon.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, you make $10,000.
But how many shows?
About 30, maybe 20. It all depends if you get more add-ons.
That's like you doing a show for everybody in the city.
Yeah.
The room holds about 300 people.
I'm the mayor. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah?
No, because it's all Christmas parties.
Okay, they do that in the UK.
Yeah, they just fill the place with Christmas parties.
That's when I don't
You
work.
do 2 shows a night.
December, January, I just cross a big X on those 2 months. No one wants nothing to do with me. I get some New Year's gigs, but I think I'm going to maybe do Vegas for New Year's or something.
You would be happy with this. You'd be happy with this one. So one time I was doing New Year's at the Parktown, and there were these guys that looked like bikers, and they were in the front row. And, so I made fun of them for looking like bikers here and there, whatever. They were all in good spirits. After the show, they said, hey, do you want to go have a smoke? So I was like, of course I do. So then I looked, and there was just the one guy. There was like 5 guys, and all of a sudden I realized I was going out to a minivan with these 5 guys that all look like bikers. And I was like, this might not be the best idea. Immediately, they give me the front seat of the minivan, and I think I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to just stab me through the neck like in Goodfellas. So what happens is they're actually very nice to me, and they start telling me racist jokes. So I've been working on a new bit about Santa possibly being a Nazi, and I decided maybe I'm going to try it out on these people because they seem racist. So I did my whole Santa's a Nazi bit, and it killed. They loved it. And then, yeah, they loved it. And then they told me a bunch of Nazi jokes, and I pretended to love them. And then what happened was they said, where are you tomorrow? I said, Calgary, and they're like, oh, man, that's a long drive. And I'm like, yeah, I know, and I'm out of herbs. And then one guy's like, he's out of herbs. They're like, and the guy's like, Dewey, or whatever the guy's name was. He's like, break him off, 3. So all of a sudden he gives me these 3 huge joints. He's like, that's for the drive. I just emptied them into my one-hitter and used them the whole day. And they're like, anytime you want to come back to Saskatoon, you give us, and they own a shop in Saskatoon.
Yeah, you can bring all your black friends.
Well, long story short, I go back in, and Mike Danvers was like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "Oh, I was smoking a joint with the guys from the front row." And he's like, "What the hell were you doing, hanging out with the?" I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're fans of mine. They come back every year I'm here."
Yeah.
He's like, "They don't wear their colors, idiot." And I'm like,
all right, fine.
Yeah.
Mm. So, where can people get a hold of you?
I prefer they didn't, but if they want to watch videos of me, they can go on YouTube. I do a lot of cake farts.
And do you have a
Twitter
and all that
Casey
stuff?
Corbin. Facebook, Casey Corbin. You Google Casey Corbin, and it's C-A-S-E-Y, not K.C.
All right. Well,
that's it.
That's it. And November 15th, 11:30, come and see my show at the Hollywood Improv, and more dates and whatnot coming soon. I got some big news, but I can't tell you right now. So, thank you.
Safe word! Safe word! Safe word! Safe word!
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?